Hello. So this is basically going to be my recap of all the books I read recommended by TikTok. So the first series of books that I want to talk about is Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies. And this is a part of the Twisted series created by Huang. The first book that I want to talk about is Twisted Love. It's the first book of the series. I audiobooked it because I already booked two books. So I'd already bought two of the books, and the two books that I bought was Twisted Lies and Twisted Games because I thought I wouldn't like Twisted Lies. People said, don't get Twisted Lies. Don't get Twisted Lies. It's not worth it. You're not gonna like it. Just a thing. So I bought Twisted Games and Twisted Lies. So going off of Twisted Love, I would have never bought the books.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
If I had only if I hadn't bought it prior, I would have never read the series. I would have been like, oh my god, this is but honestly, it's my opinion. I did not like, so it basically has two characters. These are two main characters. It's a dual book, majority of them are dual books. And it's like Alex, and he's like a Russian billionaire. And then Ava, and she's like Asian woman, amazing photographer. And she's in college, he's not. Age gap. I don't have an issue with that as long as it's legal. But it's so, he's an asshole. I don't like personally, to me, he sucks. So I was so shocked when many people were just on TikTok praising him. I love Alex Volkov. I need a man like Alex Volkov. You can do without a man like Alex Volkov. And I think the biggest issue is he has no personality. I understand that he's traumatized, traumatized to the extent trauma. And it's just reaching off the pages, and I'm like, oh, okay, wow, that's great. But to me, he just didn't have any personality aside from Ava and aside from Josh. I feel like those two had the best personality, but there's not much to say. I rate it personally, it's a 1 out of 10. I do not like him as a character. And I don't also like Ava as a character. I felt like she was self-victimizing herself a lot during the book, and I was like, okay, she's shy. She's gonna have this badass moment, and I'm like, girl, but the girl is also very traumatized. If you've read the book, it's a lot. It's just trauma on a page. Get myself together. Wait. Let me go on to the next book. Twisted Games. Oh my god. Twisted Games. I actually did buy this book. This was one of the books that I bought from the Twisted series. It's a good, I'm gonna just rate right now. It's a good the Holy Bible. What's going on? Okay, it's a good 5 out of 10. It's 5 out of 10. it's, a, it's a good 5 out of 10. It's a good book. It's a solid book. The tropes were amazing. Princess, bodyguard, classic tropes. 5 out of 10. I realized that I don't like the princess and bodyguard trope, and I was like, oh no, am I not gonna like the other two books? And it's just very bad. That I was like, oh gosh, because I like Reese's character arc. He also reminds me of Alex in the sense that he doesn't have much of a personality, but he does have personality, and that's why I set him above Alex in that regard. But I enjoyed the book. I thought it was an okay book. It's a very strong book, and it's not the worst thing she's ever written because Twisted Love is the worst thing she's ever written. Moving on to Twisted Hate. That was a solid 9 out of 10. Like that was an amazing book. I don't understand why people hate it so much. I do not like enemies to lovers trope a lot in media. I don't know why. I'm broken. But I really did enjoy this book. Twisted Hate had an enemies to lovers trope. It's about Josh and Jules, and it's probably my favorite couple throughout the series. It was it kept you on the edge of your seat. It went, it, like the other characters, they all have trauma, but it went in depth with their trauma in the sense, and it really matched. Like they were really like there for each other. Where like Twisted Love and Twisted Hate, twist, where Twisted Love and Twisted Games, they were like, oh yeah, I have this trauma. I have this trauma too. And they were like leaning on each other. And I felt like it didn't recognize to me as like a codependency, but I feel like by the end of it, like they were like best friends. And I think they knew each other probably more than their best friends knew each other. And I feel like that was the relationship that I was going to root for. I thought it was an amazing book. I thought it was just amazing overall. It's a full 9 out of 10 read. And then there's Twisted Hate. I like this book. I actually really do like this book. It's because Christian has personality. Christian has personality. It's about Christian and Stella, all four girls, best friends. Stella's the last. I think Christian has personality, and I think he's one of probably the best books boyfriends that I've ever read. It's just like he's obsessed with her. I don't know what to call it. He says it's not love, it's not love, it's not love. But everybody by the end of this, I'm like, okay, it's love. I don't know who he's trying to fool. He's like, it's not love, it's infatuation. It's not love, it's obsession. It's not love. But I feel like it was like truly an amazing book, and I feel like it's an 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. I really wish I had the hard copy for Twisted Lies. I'm probably going to get it later. But it's a good 5 out of 10 for Christian and Stella's book. I feel like it's probably the, again, with Twisted Lies, it's probably one of the most fleshed out. And they not only help each other through each other's trauma, it's also happening in like present day where it's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a better person because of you. And I feel like that also brings in a semblance because I don't like enemies to the lovers trope, but I'm going to bring up a different book that reminds me of it. It reminds me of like Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet and how they like separated for a year and then they came back to each other and they were like, listen, I want to be a better person, not because of you, but, well, yes, because of you, but because you make me a better person and you make me want to do better for myself. So I feel like Twisted Hate and Twisted Lies had that, where Twisted Love and Twisted Games did not, and they fell flat. But like the last two books are probably the best books. So please don't kill me. Okay, the second series I want to talk about is probably my favorite series that I read this year. It's an older series, like Twisted Lies, like just came out 2022. It's an older series. It was already finished. It is Talia Hibbert series. This is my favorite series. It's, I'm sorry, Get a Life, Chloe Brown is my favorite book. I will be talking about them in order. It's amazing. It's just great. I don't Get a Life, Chloe Brown is just amazing. Just great. Okay, it's the first book in the series. It follows the Brown Trilogy sisters. It comes. Chloe Brown is the oldest sister. She's suffering from a disability, and it's an invisible disability. I feel like she's probably the most relatable character that I've ever related to with the book. And Redford Morgan is beautiful. He's beautiful. He's just an amazing. Probably outdoes Christian. I know I just said Christian was probably the best. Probably outdoes Christian. Oh my god. It's just this 10 out of 10 read. Please go read this book if you have not read Talia Hibbert series yet. I think genuinely one of the best books. And again, I just said I don't like enemies to lovers, but again, she does it amazingly. So Talia Hibbert, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, amazing book, 10 out of 10 read. Okay, the next book in the Brown Sisters trilogy is Danica's book. I thought it was gonna be Danielle too. Like everybody, she wrote a joke about it. I think in the first book it was like her name is Danny. Her nickname is Danny, but it's like Danica. That's her full name, Danica Brown. And it's Take a Hint, Danny Brown. I mean, I still love Chloe Brown's better, but so such a strong book. This is really hard for me. And Zap is like probably like the best book boyfriend. Oh gosh. I I can't rate it a 10. I rated Chloe's book a 10. I'm gonna rate it a 9.5. 9.5 out of 10 because it is amazing. But it just doesn't set over the edge in regards to the relationship that Chloe and Redford have. But Zafir is the biggest softie. He's basically that wrestler. I don't know what his name is. The wrestler Dave Batista. Dave Batista in a book form, but he's Muslim from the Middle East. It's such an amazing book. Danica's a witch. She's also bisexual by representation. It's just a fun read overall. I really like this series. I really love this series. I love it. I love it. I love this series. It's my favorite series. Oh my god. And then there's Eve's book. I audiobooked Eve's book. It's basically let me so it's basically Act Your Age Eve Brown, and it's also a very amazing book. My rating for it 9.2. 9.2. It also has representation in regards to like disability and autism and how Black women may have symptoms for autism and not actually be diagnosed with autism. I felt also very connected to Eve's book. It was also amazing. Jacob is amazing. It's just that I didn't like the isolate. Like many of the like all three of the books were very isolated. I feel like she was away from her family. I feel like she was embarrassed multiple times by her family. That happens a lot in these books. So I think it. I think it was a good read overall. I just can't compare them to the other two. I just like the two a little bit more, a little bit more. So I'm probably gonna okay. I'm probably gonna do an overall like arching topics on the book. So I'm gonna start from the beginning with Chloe's book because I feel like I kind of rushed this a little bit. So Chloe's book is basically about her wanting to get a life. Iconic. So she's basically living at home, trust fund baby, rich. She doesn't have to leave. So she's like, she doesn't have to leave. She was like, no, I want to make a life for myself without my parents, without my rich grandmother. And I'm going to do that for myself. And it's very commendable. And then Redford is the landlord to Chloe. So it's basically like a romance. It starts off enemies to lovers. But again, misconceptions, miscommunication, misunderstanding. And he's like, but I genuinely like this trope because I feel like a very boring person. And Chloe, she's just me. She just relates to me as literally here's some of the things that's been on our list. Enjoy a drunken night out. Not me. Ride a motorcycle. Go camping. Absolutely not. Not me. No. No. God. God. Have meaningless. Travel the world with nothing but hand luggage. I would love to do that. Again, I don't I don't like flying. And do something bad. So it's basically like very list oriented, very nerdy in the sense of like adorable. So I love Chloe. I love Chloe. I just love her. Next for Danica. Again, I want to go a little bit. So these two are actually coworkers. Danica and Zafir are actually coworkers. So that's how they meet. He saves her again. I don't think I like this trope. I don't think I like this trope. He saves her. It's very adorable. She thinks she saw God. Again, she's a witch. What? So she thinks she saw God. She's like, oh my God, did you see what's going on? And that's what it's he has a crush on her, actually. Like, but he's trying to like vet her out. Is he like, does she only like girls or does she like guys? Or does she like both? And she likes both, thankfully. Thankfully. It's a very cute couple. She, for during I think this was one of the first next to like this book where the girl had to win the guy back, and I found that very adorable. And how she won him back, also very adorable. And then it's Eve's and Jacob's book. Um, so it starts with her just full on being kicked out, full on being kicked out from her parents' house. Okay, then it gets a bit crazier. She goes for a ride, a very long ride, and then she meets up basically with a bed and breakfast. Jake runs a bed and breakfast. He's like, okay. He's trying to find an employee who can cook. Eve can thankfully cook. Jamaican blood in her. And so she interviews for the job. Doesn't have a resume, doesn't have anything. And Jacob, rightfully so, says, what the? No. And like shoes her off. But she was probably the best person for the job because no one else in town. It was a very small town from the description. There was nobody else in town that could probably do it. So he chases after her. She runs him over. He has to go to the hospital. She runs the hotel for basically like a day. And then they're basically living together, close proximity with each other. And it's just very, it's a very different, it's a very different book to read. And I was shocked by this. It really keeps you on your head. You never know when it's gonna hit you next out of nowhere, especially among this book. But it was a very fun read. very adorable read, and probably also still one of the best reads of 2020. So this was the first series I read all year, and it was the Dreamland Billionaire series by Lauren Asher, and the fine print and terms and conditions. Terms and conditions came out this year, and I believe the fine print either came out 2020 or like 2021. Okay, I have conflicting views on this series a bit. So Rowan, to me, also an asshole, and he reminds me a lot of Alex, but he's young, so I have more leeway with him. I like him a little bit more than Alex. Um, I didn't like him. I still didn't really like him as a character. I didn't like the way he treated Sarah. Still, but like again, it it wasn't the book for me. So, but I rated a 4.5 out of 10. But I can understand why people like this book. I can understand. It just wasn't the trope for me. I didn't like it too much. Maybe I need to reread it. Maybe it's just me, but I didn't like it. Now going on to terms and conditions. Still, this is probably what's one of my favorite books. Like it is worn down. Like if you can see that, it is literally the pages. This is probably the first, it's like the first fully fledged book that I read. I read this prior to the fine print. I should not have done that. Maybe that's why I don't like the fine print as much. But like full on, I wore this book down. It was just so adorable. It was so cute. And you can tell that he has like a very much like he has interest in her. He's obsessed with her, and he's not just like infatuated with her like the fine print wrote. Like she's not like a fixer up. Like he's not a fixer upper. This is like a man who knows what he wants, who gets what he wants, and he tries his best to understand and do that for the people around him. And I respect that, especially among Declan. I think he was definitely he's not a book boyfriend. He's a book husband. He really came forward and he's like, I'm not a boyfriend. I'm a husband. I do what I have to do for my wife. And I'm like, I respect that. I respect that. I like that. He knows what he wants. He's a man who knows what he wants. And I think that's important to see in bookmen. There's a lot of insights in Roland's case, but Declan immediately knew what he wanted. So I like this way more. I give this an 8.8 out of 10. I cannot wait for a house book, and I already pre-ordered. So this is like the last book I will be talking about. This is Magnolia Park's Jessa Hastings series. This book drives me insane. I feel like I need an hour long to talk about Magnolia Parks. I've only read the first book in the series. I've not read any other book. This book is genuinely, legitimately driving me insane. Every time I read a chapter, I want to throw it across the wall. But it's so infatuated, like it's like drugs. I can't put it down, and like I need to keep reading to like understand what is going on. And then the ending, I just wanted to kill him. I wanted to actually hurt a book character. BJ, I don't usually like toxic men, but BJ, BJ's BJ, and then Magnolia. I mean, she's Magnolia Parks. She's Magnolia, the icon Parks. Duh. So it's just it's really hard for me. I love all the characters. I felt like all the characters were fleshed out except the few, and I don't want to ruin the book. And I don't want to ruin the book. So I mean, that is that. I don't even know how to explain this book. It's just you're gonna have to read it. It's like a fever dream. It's like the Umbrella Academy, but Gossip Girl without powers and more drama. It's not even like Gossip Girl 2022 reboot. It's like Gossip Girl season one craziness. Everything's going every which way. Nothing makes sense. Nothing's right. But it's just a fun, enjoyable, toxic read. And you're going to either want to kill all of the characters or you're going to love all of them. And I've done, like, I'm literally doing both as I speak. As I like literally these are like my series books. This is probably the best book that TikTok has recommended to me. It's a full on 9.8. It's a 9.8. I cannot give this a 10 because it's so toxic. But it's a 9.8. It's just it's shocking. It's shocking. And this is the first book I've read of the series. I haven't read the Daisy Hates series. Yes, this is the only book I've read of it. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's like one of those James Patterson books that like lure you in with like the cute cartoons, and then he just like once takes the rug from under you, and then you're crying at a James Patterson book that you never thought you would ever cry at. It's amazing and horrible and beautiful. It's torture. You like it? I don't. I really don't know how to explain this book. It's so good. You're gonna have to read it. If you don't read any of the books that I like got from TikTok, this is the book you need to read. Somehow. Somehow. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's majestic. It's just crazy. I just wanna I just, but I can't do that. Like I just wanna like throw it, chuck it, throw it in the garbage dispenser. But I feel like I would jump in the garbage dispenser just to say it. Yeah, thank you.